Hello, everyone. This is the second EnterDAO Community Update call, where we'll go over on what's new at EnterDAO, the progress we have on everything that we're building, and at the end, we're going to answer some community questions that popped up in the Discord over the last week or two. Quick reminder: there is a channel in Discord called Community Questions, so whenever somebody has a queue that wants to be answered to the call, or like we can answer right away in the channel, feel free to shoot it out there. So without further ado, updates. I'll start with the farming and staking update. So the Enter token is live on Sushi. The liquidity pool is live. DAO staking is up and running, so y'all can get the tokens and stake them into the DAO. And also the Sushi LP pool in our real farming is live, which is quite juicy right now. So basically our farming is up and running, all is good there. I think we peaked at one point at 110 million TVL, dropped up a bit, but we've had some quite amazing traction so far. That's the update on the farming. Next up, I'm going to talk about MetaPass, our upcoming NFT, and then we'll dive into LandWorks and MetaPortal as the product updates. I'll start right away with MetaPass and then hand it over to Adi. So real quick on the art, we've been progressing quite well. Our artist Angela is doing great work. We have the concept visual ready. If I can leak some alpha there, it's the NFTs are going to be animated, and they're also going to have music. We onboarded like a killer techno producer here locally that's producing original music just for the NFT drop, so we can expect that to be pretty fire. Yeah, I'm giving the mic to Adi to give a bit of updates on the tech part there.
Thanks, Jivko. Yeah, so we started working on the smart contracts and the front end. We actually decided to use the Universe smart contracts because, as you know, they're proven, battle tested, both with the polymorphs and the lobsters. And also the art will be generated on chain, which is important. There will be no waiting times until reveal. And on the front end, we have the designs. We're still to add some graphical elements there, but the front end work also started. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it about the development.
Awesome. Quick addition to that, obviously we're looking to make this drop as fair as possible, and we are currently working on different ways to basically ensure that the early Discord community can be in the NFT drop, and we don't get owned by bots and gas wars and stuff like that. So keep an eye on Discord for more updates on that. We definitely want everyone that has supported us since the beginning to be able to get a MetaPass. So that's that. Next up is LandWorks, and I'm giving the mic to Danny here.
Hey everyone. So for the last 2 weeks for LandWorks, we were focused more on feasibility tests. We performed tests for lending and renting estates. That's quite important for the central land properties, as the majority of the land is actually held in estates. So that turned out a successful test, as well as one feature that's going to come in LandWorks, which is pooling multiple landed properties, so users can rent properties from multiple other users. There's no need for someone to rent a property only from one person. They can rent from multiple, and if they're adjacent to each other, the renter can actually deploy scenes to that. And the most important part of that pooling is actually the the network's effect of the protocol will be enforced through this feature. The cool part of all this is that there won't be any added complexity on the smart contracts in the protocol in order to achieve that, and that's a huge win. Other than those feasibility tests and the R&D that we've worked on, we've worked on user stories, wireframes, and actually the designs starting in the actual design starting in a couple of days, and the smart contract development already started. So everything on the R&D side is cleared, and we have everything cleared, and only the development is left.
Fire. Nice. And just a quick note here to the community: if everyone has experience in building stuff on Decentraland in terms of stages and like in-game items and stuff like that, please reach out. Or if you know somebody that's really good at it, please reach out. We're looking for more builders at all times. So yeah, hit us up. Next up is an update on MetaPortal, the second product, and I'm giving the ball here to George.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So with MetaPortal, a lot of things have happened these days. We were able to successfully figure out a way that we can essentially pass a wallet connection from external source into the application, which is essentially going to mean that people are going to be able to connect their wallets, like their mobile wallets through Wallet Connect with the MetaPortal, and essentially join in MetaPortal there and be able to play the different games through their own connection. And we have also decided that it's a great idea for user experience for us to enable for people to have like a specific in-app native wallet there. So apart from these technical proof of concepts that we performed there, we have started the work on essentially on PM and product side in terms of defining better the stories for the devs to tackle on and for anyone to tackle on. So I'm planning probably next week, I'm going to transfer these out into a repo that's going to be something like EnterDAO -PM or something like this, where I plan on keeping most of our PM stuff and product stuff. Apart from this, the work has started on the visual design on this. We are planning for the MetaPortal to be very visually pleasing, including stuff like audio, effects, and yeah, all the delightful stuff that should be there for this experience. And yeah, we are nearing our boot up phase, and soon we're going to be full steam ahead with that. Back to you, Z.
Awesome. Those were the products updates on our end. Something more community related. Is Liam here? I think he dropped off. Or basic is here?
No, I think he dropped off.
That's fine. So Liam, who's our community lead, he has been writing a super cool newsletter called the Metaverse Times, and he's publishing this every week. We just had the second edition go out yesterday, and in it you can find both updates on EnterDAO and also like cool metaverse related news and updates. So I think it's pretty cool. You can find it in the Medium. You can also find the links in the Discord. You can also subscribe on the website. So make sure to check this one out. That was that. In addition to the community stuff, we had a great episode with Delphi Digital. I think 2 days ago. The recordings on YouTube should be also on the Delphi channels pretty soon as well. We talked everything EnterDAO and the metaverse stuff, so you can check it out. Shout out to Tom for having me on there. So yeah, those are the updates. Moving on to community questions. There are two questions that we've had over the past week or so that we're going to answer. First off is regarding the youth farming and the youth farming rewards. The question is, do you need to be in for the whole epoch to earn rewards? The answer is yes, in the yield farming and no in the DAO staking. So in the DAO staking, you can basically, you earn rewards continuously and you can claim them whenever you like. But for the yield farming, you need to be in until the end of the epoch to make sure that you get your reward on harvest day, which is every Wednesday. I think around 3 p.m. UTC or like 5 p.m. European time. I'm always messing up the time zones, but it's definitely Wednesday. This is where Wednesday is harvest day. Second question is related to LandWorks, our land renting marketplace. And the question is, can you lease, because we're starting off with Decentraland, right? And the question is, can you lease land that you only have deploying permissions to, and you don't own it per se? And the answer to this is no. So people need to own the land in order to basically deposit and rent it out on the protocol. Those were our two community questions. We obviously answered some more in the Discord. So we always try to answer everything we can. So if there's anything, head out to our Discord and we will make sure to ping you guys. Those were all the updates I had on my end. Anyone wants to share something or talk about anything?
Živko, maybe we can discuss a bit the listings we have so far. For example, with Zapper, with DeFiWama. Now we've submitted a listing with Blockfolio, so people can start voting there for the request. I think the message is in the announcement channel, so that will be great to boost the request a bit.
Yep, so good point, Veli. We've done so far a great job to be listed pretty much almost everywhere. We're on CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap, Zerion, Zapper, DeFi Llama, and we need to get on Blockfolio. So the vote for that is up and running. Please support us with a vote. You can find the link in our Discord, like Veli said.
Yeah. Right. I wanted to discuss something that's important. I feel that it's important for us to be keeping track of our tasks and stories and things that need to be built in the GitHub as issues, because I think this is the way that we will promote and drive more community involvement, which is the place where I want to say, hey, like guys, it's we want for all this to be collaborative effort. So anyone that wants to join in and help building this thing together for the community is going to be great for you guys to join us in. I know that several people reached out to us, like offering their help. We are nearing the stage where we'll be able to accept this help. Like we're just like putting all the mechanics in perspective so that we are all efficient in all of this. So maybe Danny, I don't know what you think about it, but definitely for MetaPortal, I'm thinking that I'm going to put maybe all these stories once I have, like, I feel that they're sufficiently groomed. I'll put them in a GitHub repo as issues. What do you think? Do you think that this would be meaningful for LandWorks too? And you would need to unmute yourself if you want to answer me.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, I think that for the smart contract development, I can put and erase the issues right away and open source the repo. And for the user interface, actually, I'm not sure where it would be most appropriate place to place them, since maybe we can have a general repo for PM stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I would also suggest for the smart contract, for all the things to be in this general PM repo, even if it's specifically for LandWorks, you are still going to be able to reference them by the complete issue. So I'd say let's have this GitHub like EnterDAO-PM thing where we can have these tags like MetaPortal, LandWorks, MetaPass, whatever it is, like all these things, and we can just like start raising our issues there. so that people can see like what are the things that we are planning, how we are completing them. The only thing that we need to arrange correctly on is when we complete any of these and how do we close them. I guess that we can either do them manually. If I'm not sure whether you can close an issue cross repo. Do you know any of this?
Yeah,
If I close a PR on one repo, and I link another issue that's in another repo, would it close? I'm not sure, but yeah, this is like,
let's think about it, because the stories are more general, and PRs might be like multiple PRs for one user story.
yeah. Normally, you need to write clauses before the PR in order for you to close it. It might be just reference to this, not necessarily about closing it. But sometimes you will be closing it, which is great.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that. Let's do this thing with the PM stuff, and then we can invite more comments there. Like I know that I wanted for Tyler and for the for more broader community to start commenting on at least on the MetaPortal stories that we've been coming up with. And I plan on involving there like Algie, Nick, Mark there, Ryan, definitely, like all the community plus the broader community. Like I want everyone that wants to give a feedback there.
The squad.
Was that?
Gang,
I
gang.
said the squad.
Yeah. The squad. Cool. Yeah, this was my thing, like just in general visibility, general PM stuff. And yeah, pretty much all the rest of the things I think are covered.
Nice.
Do we have any leads on have we seen people that want to get involved with DAO in terms of not that much in terms of development, but in terms of what would be the correct word here, like artistry, like making models out of and using them to be placed on land for LandWorks? Do we have these things already?
We're talking with some people that want to get involved. Basically, there's a guy that's quite active in our Discord called Johnny Fiat. They have like a project called Cross-Chain of Power, where they're basically doing metaverse merge. We've also talked with a few design studios that want to start building metaverse stuff, like there's a studio called WAGMI Studios, which is a DAO governed design studio. So they want to get involved as well. So yeah, we do have some people.
Okay. Yeah.
I think Nick is also talking with someone as well.
One thing I'll recommend, also that guy Johnny Fiat is legit. He's the guy that made all the Barn Bridge apparel, and like I've had a couple of video calls with him, and I think he's a trustworthy guy. He's a good dude. He's been involved in Barn Bridge from the beginning.
Shout out, Johnny.
He followed us to Universe. He's followed us to EnterDAO. So I would just consider him as like a true community across like all the projects. And he works with this guy named Jen, who, yeah, they're legit. And they've been sending me screenshots of stuff they're planning on doing, which is awesome. The other thing I was going to say is, one way that I think that we can get the community involved is I think that we fork some of like the interface stuff directly from Universe, and there's not the forums set up. I think these forums are actually useful because like Signal is like something that you just use to like snapshot to get like community sentiment. And then like before you go and actually put like a gas vote on chain, which is expensive, but the snapshots are normally stemmed off of conversations that are happening in the forums. Yeah. And they haven't been like too active with Universe, but they are in DeFi. So I think like long term, even with Universe, for instance, when we actually like ship code for the like marketplace and everything, and they're not like polymorphs and NFTs, this is going to be the same with like EnterDAO, right? Like when we start shipping the products and people are using them, that's when the community starts to get like way more active and have things to say. And they're going to want to set up like forums and have discussions, because things just not, I mean, Discord's drastically superior to Telegram in terms of kind of channeling information literally. And, but stuff still gets lost. So the forums are a place where like the really active community members can kind of flex their governance muscles and kind of put proposals in, get feedback, people talk about them before it ever hits like a snapshot vote. But again, I don't think that I'm more only bringing up Universe to keep all this in context so that people know that it's not going to be like that active until we're at a point that we have like a ton of users and usage. So that's just my 2 cents. Like kind of we should set up a forum, expect that it's not going to be extremely active until we have a product that people can use. And then at that point, they'll use the forum, they'll use the signal, and then they'll use the DAO.
Yeah.
Does this make sense?
Yes. And also our products are going to be shipping in a couple of months, so we better be ready.
Yep.
That's true. Okay, what's the best forum to use?
Ask Pablo or Ryan, or I don't know what this is. I want to say it's Discourse. We could probably just like do the whole like copy inspect element, and I think it's Discourse. D-O. Here, I'll just share my screen real quick so the whole community can actually even see. Or no, I can't.
Yeah. Ryan. Hey.
If I can share real quick.
Chuba.
Hey guys, what's up?
What's the best forum to use?
I think it's called Discourse.
Discourse, yeah.
Okay,
But
thanks.
you can kind of compare the Universe one, and then like I'll post the Barn Bridge one, and you'll see like how active the Barn Bridge one actually is. But it's because, you know, we've got a live product. It's actually bringing in revenue. People have opinions on where that stuff should go, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, you just go into the DAO, and in the top right, you click forum, and I think we use Discourse for all of them. So the DeFi community is a little more active on this stuff than the NFT community, but I think that's because the NFT community is just starting to get a grapple on what DAO-driven governance actually is. So like these are the types of discussions that will start happening. And so yeah, I think this is a free tool. I really don't know who pays for it if it's not, but it's called Discourse.
We'll figure it out. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
I know we still have time, so if I wanted to throw a question, like conversation here, discussion around something specific for MetaPortal. Like, is anyone in a rush? We want to have this. Time is here, and then we can also have this discussion. Okay, I'll go ahead with it. I was wondering, like, one of the important goals for MetaPortal is to attract users that are not necessarily crypto users, like people that are just they just want to use traditional metaverses, like the different games that are there, and I was wondering whether it's going to be a massive impediment and whether it's going to be massive obstacle for them if we actually ask them when they log into the application for them to connect with wallet. Will this actually be like flushing away like masses of users, or should we play actually around this and essentially only ask them to connect their wallets when they have this necessity, and just essentially enable people that are not crypto native yet to ease into crypto stuff? What do you guys think?
If it's okay for me to jump in, I think there's a middle ground, and one example of this would be something like magic.link, and you don't have to use their tooling to do it. You could build your own version of it, but what they provide is a way to sign up via an email. And when you sign up through an email address, they host a ETH address for you on their back end, and they actually will manage that ETH address for you. Sometimes they might fund it a little bit depending on if that's necessary or not. Usually that happens on L2s. But outside of that, and hosting addresses for people, other than telling them to install MetaMask and doing it for themselves, I don't really think you can capture more people other than hosting for them.
And okay, Ty, what do you think? And the rest of you, obviously.
Did you say Tyler?
Yeah, what do you think?
I agree with Ryan. Yeah.
I'm wondering, so the options that I feel we're going to present, at least for the first version, is create an account and connect with Wallet Connect. So, okay, half of the users won't even know what Wallet Connect is. We cannot immediately connect with MetaMask because MetaPortal is actually a native desktop application. MetaMask, obviously, browser plugin. So the connection of the two actually does not happen. And this is going to be like a research and a whole another thing that we need to figure out later. But for now, we can support Wallet Connect. And I'm wondering whether we can make the create an account in such a way that it's actually opaque for the regular non-crypto folk, that they're actually creating a wallet, that they're actually doing any of these things. So I was wondering like whether we can actually have this as a middle ground while we still have wallets for everyone, but half of them don't actually know that they have wallets until they need to know that they have wallets.
Yeah, exactly. So if you have a Web3 account already and you want to use MetaMask, Wallet Connect, Rainbow, whatever, you can click the connect button and do that. But if you want to sign in as a Web2 user with an email, then you can figure out whether you want to use Magic or manually host those wallets yourself, or however you want to do that. The reason I say you might want to do it yourself is because Magic is it's not very cheap. And they charge like per user, so it can get very pricey as you scale. So that's why it's probably better to build your own system. But I know like a few apps, like what was that decentralized betting market on Polymarket? They use magic.link to onboard customers without ever needing an ETH account.
Okay, cool. Makes sense.
We should also, I think here we should also like see what the games themselves are doing. Because like, for example, I think Axie requires a wallet, right? And like it has like massive user base, so it hasn't been too much of an impediment to the community. I tend to think that the community always adapts, but we obviously want to provide the best experience out of the gates for everyone.
Okay.
In the case for Decentraland, you have the option to enter the metaverse without connecting wallets. You're entering as a guest.
Yeah.
So that's another thing that we could explore, and that's actually something very native to Web3 dApps. You can connect with you can access something without ever connecting to the wallet, but if you want to do an action or have something specific to your account, then you connect the wallet. But you can do the read-only stuff without connecting ever.
That's great, guys. Thank you very much. It's been very helpful conversation.
Right.
Just taking notes. Yeah, that was my thing.
I have to.
Anything that we need to discuss on the NFTs?
No, I mentioned earlier that we're still like talking about. We have, I think, a bit like nice discussion going on in the Slack about like how we want to make sure that the early community has access and like they don't get owned by like bots and gas wars, etc. So we're working on a bunch of stuff, and I think we'll have like a more meaningful update for the community on the next call in a couple of weeks.
Did you like the way that Mechaverse did it?
No, but I think there was too much hype in this project already, and I don't think there is a right way. Like we haven't seen the right way to do it when there's like 50,000 people wanting to get in.
Okay.
Was it waitlist?
Yeah, it was widely.
I just don't think that when projects are that hyped that, yeah, I mean, I don't think that there's any way to make everybody happy,
Yep.
right? Like, it just is what it is.
Okay. Let's see how hyped we're going to get.
Couple
Yeah.
last things that I want to touch base on just for the
That's
community.
hyped. We should, if
Yeah,
I was gonna say, if it's that hype, my gut says that some of the biggest communities long-term might actually have like more than 10K like avatars. I think that's just a default that we all pulled in because of punks. But like, if I was Mechaverse, I literally would have just moved to 100K and said, you know, like this is like if you're it's different. Like if you're doing it to kind of do like an art drop, right? Like then I understand keeping the same stuff so the rarity tools and everything works properly. But if you're doing it for like long-term community building and there's that much hype, like they had like 200,000 followers on Twitter, and like there was basically like clear that it was going to be massively oversubscribed. I think in that scenario, like if you're doing it for long-term community building, why not just open up to 100,000 Mechaverse things? You're just gonna have a way bigger community. So like that is something to think about. I don't know how hyped we're gonna get it. I mean, we'll be lucky if it's Mechaverse, but yeah, like the biggest NFT drop in the future probably isn't gonna be 10K. There's gonna be this big, massive community that gets around a larger like sample set because it gives more access to the average person. And when we're doing stuff for metaverse and gaming and all of those types of things, I think that's powerful.
Another thing that we can point out is that actually there's a similar issue or similar problem that Bored Apes has stumbled upon. Initially, they did a 10K, but after that, now we can see that they're basically limiting their user base to a small number, and now they did the second drop for the not that inclusive set of NFTs, the mutant ones. So it would be interesting to see how it all plays out, since you cannot, if it's 10K, some projects do need more than 10K as a user base. If it's a massive DApp, you need more than 10K.
I think there was a project called The Bombs or something like that, which had like 25K, and it was like, I think it was just right for them, but we obviously need to see how this plays out going forward.
I think there's quite a thin line between giving an exclusivity and kind of an extra thing for your community, and then you have this kind of entitlement for the community. So you have to balance between those two, because otherwise kind of it puts you off in a way, you know.
Yeah,
It's
I
kind of
get it.
too closed, I think.
Yeah, I agree with Nick here. It like the whitelist problem is a very easy one to solve. I think if you want to do any of these like white label whitelist solutions, you can, but I'd be careful of how the community is going to look at them. I think Fluffs tried to do it and it didn't really work. Like the whitelist was not complete, and it didn't really create any FUD or get in the way. But there is still kind of like an appearance of like a pre-sale or something like that may leave a bad taste in some people's mouths. So I would try to definitely think that one through a good bit. But I don't think it's very difficult to get early supporters, to guarantee them. Just put them on a whitelist that opens up with minting before, or reserve the NFTs for them and let them pay for it whenever they can. But I think you should decide whether that's something you really feel like is necessary. Especially, you want to look at how much hype there is and how many pieces there are, how many community members you have, and then decide if is necessary or if all your community members will probably get one anyway.
I think whitelist is fine as long as you don't have the majority of your NFTs reserved for whitelisted people. If, for example, you have like 5 to 10%, that's fine, because there's good enough amount out there for the whole community and not for the people that are part of Discord or whatever. I think this is the balance that we have to to find here, maybe.
Yeah, I agree. It's not all or nothing. I like that 5 to 10% target. I think that's reasonable.
Cool.
Yep. We're still working on that, so we hope to have a more meaningful update on like whitelists and everything for the community in like 2 weeks or so.
And you may want to talk to Aaron McDonald about what happened with
Yep.
Fluffs, just to try to avoid some of the issues they ran into. I think I was like at a family party or something during the drop, so I couldn't help them last minute. But they reached out, and I know they were having a lot of difficulties. And when I actually tried to mint one, even though I like signed up my address, it still wasn't in the database. So maybe that was just like an error or something, or maybe it was an error on my part. I don't know. but I know there was a lot of salty users in that position. I was fine. I aped in at the top at 0.9 and have been holding my fluff, but I'm sure not everyone
Let's see them.
that.
I have so many plus. I missed the drop, but when they drop, I think with any NFT project, you just wait, join the community and follow. And if you're really passionate about it, get one.
Yeah.
Or
There
three.
will be ups and downs, you know.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I got a really dope fluff, like when they were just like absolutely obliterated, like a top 100 rarity for like an ETH or two.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah, no, I have a terrible one, and if I give any more details, I'll get canceled. So that's okay.
Yeah, I haven't even checked my rarity because the project has so many potential that the rarity is like the least thing for me that's important for this thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Dude, the passes, just out of curiosity, because I'm not super up to date. Do you want those to like be used as an access pass to be able to mint things in the future?
So basically MetaPass is going to have like first and foremost utility functions in terms that we are providing like access to exclusive metaverse events and perks within our products. So this could include other mints, but we're definitely not limiting ourselves to that. I think we'll have like quite a bit of like events and like in-game stuff happening for NFT holders.
Yeah, I think cool things could be like concerts in land that you guys
For
rent
sure.
members and stuff like that. I think one tricky thing there is that even though these decentralized like metaverses are Web3 built, none of them have like token gated access yet. So sadly, you can't make like a concert that's only like accessible to ticket holders, you know, people who hold the MetaPass or whatever. So maybe in the future you could do stuff like that, but I think for now that's a limitation, sadly. Or you can find some creative solution there. Maybe.
I think it could be possible in a game that it's coming up shortly. I'm not going to leak it right away.
All good.
But, yeah, I think it should be doable.
That's sick. Yeah, I'd love to see that. And I mean, I know at Universe we know a handful of DJs and stuff. I don't know if they'd be interested in doing something like that, but maybe you can talk to them.
We just onboarded, like I said earlier, I think I actually talked to you about it. Maybe it was Mark, but like we have onboarded like a great producer that is basically producing like original tracks for the NFTs, and he can like definitely do fire sets with like electronic music in game. But there's always like a bunch of DJs in the community, so I'm pretty sure that we'll have some parties going on.
Yeah, I think those are a really good community building events. I was at like this marshmallow thing that Les Borse, however you say his last name, like got a few of us into, and it was a Zoom call, so it was like cool, but it wasn't very like Web3. And I think if you actually do it inside of a game or a metaverse or something like that, it'll be a lot more immersive. Like, you know, my sister's a huge Marshmallow fan, so she had a great time kind of watching that on Zoom. But if, you know, I could have popped a VR headset on her, it would have been 1,000 times better.
Yeah.
For sure.
Last thing for me, and maybe we can log off for today. Dan, have you researched Somnium space for LandWorks?
You muted, Dan.
Yeah, I haven't actually.
Okay,
I was looking.
You might want to look into this because I'm seeing more and more traction there, especially for event building. Like I think they have this weekly party there that essentially people go into. It's awesome stuff. You can play it both from browser and from VR. So I'm feeling that it's almost like starting to get steam, that it might be meaningful to explore how easy it could be to go there. And I know that we are early to speak about it, but I know that voxels are also getting quite a bit of steam. I'm still conflicted about the way that you need to essentially ask them permission to build stuff in there, and like how is this going to impact the way that LandWorks might work. But apart from this, maybe Z, maybe we can start the conversation with voxels essentially, because if people that are renting land from voxels, from LandWorks, want to be able to build on this land, I guess that we would need to have some way of collaborating with voxels together. So maybe it's not a bad idea to at least plan to approach them.
Yeah, no, that's easy. I mean, Remy, who's one of our advisors, I mean, Remy from Real Vision, they have a Real Vision building in voxels, so we can also chat with them about that.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah.
I think that these are important. Yeah, go.
Yeah. So for the other metaverses, except for Decentraland, I was wondering what would be the best way to figure out the next metaverses that will include in LandWorks. So obviously we'll need to get the opinion of the community and their requests, but I'm wondering what would be the best way to do it.
To the forum that we discussed initially, like the discourse.
That might be one way to do it.
Okay, cool. Let's wrap it. Z, it's yours. The honor is yours.
All right, couple really quick things before we wrap it up. We have a community contest going on for lyrical stuff that is like, so far the responses have been hilarious. Like shout out Underground Man for like writing like 30 bars or something. So please, everyone that has some lyrics on their mind, you can get involved in our Mentor. And second thing is that obviously going forward, we want to onboard as many contributors from the community as possible. So we're currently speaking with some friends called Layer 3, which are building basically a two-sided marketplace for DAOs to find contributors. I think they have an alpha out there, alpha version of their product, and we're going to be working with them in the next month or so to basically have some bounties for the communities up and running, so we can start onboarding community contributors from the Discord in a more systematic way, and have you guys earn some mentor for that. That's pretty much everything I think that we need to talk about. Thanks everyone for joining. Hit like, share, subscribe. The recording would be out soon, and yeah, see you all
Smash
in the
that
Discord.
like button on YouTube.
Smash it.
I'm gonna do it like a YouTube version.
Smash the
Smash
button.
that like button.
Smash it.
Up here.
All right, guys. Thank you,
Cheers,
everyone.
guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yes.
Bye, guys.